a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Deus Ex Media.
Content and Capable acknowledges the Indigenous people on the land on which we record this podcast, the Turungurung people. We offer our respect to their elders, past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Sovereignty was never ceded. Welcome to Content and Capable, where watching the movie Cars in a marathon might not be the greatest idea, but it's still very much okay if you want to do it. I'm Sam, I'm your host. I have been seriously thinking about this week. And joining me today is James and Lauren from Sorta Kind of Funny. Sorry, it rolls off the tongue too quickly, almost, like Sorta Kind of Funny. Like, is that, whoa.
Takes you by surprise.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's like your name is too good of a podcast. What do I do with that?
Exactly. I'm like, and it's not the first time, like, I could have practiced saying this. Like, let's be honest. I could be could have been very, very, but no, I didn't practice. I didn't think about it. And if there's one theme to this podcast, it is under preparation, I think.
We love
under
that.
preparation.
We love a good unprepared
That's right.
king, yeah.
Over presentation with under preparation. That's the way it goes,
It's an improv.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you guys want to kind of quickly run through what your podcast is all about?
For sure. James, do you want me to?
Yeah. So Lauren and I do a comedy podcast. Each week is kind of its own unique topic. Sometimes we just kind of talk. Sometimes we have a specific topic of like stories. Most of the time, they're usually stories that people write in about any specific topic that we pick for that week. And we'll talk about whatever that topic is. So, if it's funny stories from adolescent years or funny prom stories, we just have people respond and then we read them and react to them. And they're very, very fun and funny.
We do a lot of like improv voices for these, and we get very off topic and like to really roll with the bit until we wake up and we're like, whoa, what happened? What? But it's a lot of fun. Yeah, we have a lot of fun over there. It's sort of kind of funny podcast.
It's a good time when you're about 7 tangents deep and you realize we're getting close to the end of the recording time. How are we bring this all back together?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I say roughly we pick a topic, because there have been episodes where we're going to talk about this, and it's in the intro, and then we get to the end and we're like, did we ever get to the stories? Okay, next time. Okay, next time we're going to talk about that.
Two.
Yeah. I recently spoke with Grant and Maya from Well I Laugh, which I think have been with you guys recently.
Yes.
And as of recording, I'm just going through editing it, and there is a full 20 minutes at the start before I sync up the audio and I'm going to run my intro where we're just chatting. Because we had an hour of technical difficulties, and then I completely forget to introduce them until like 20 minutes into the actual episode. And I'm like, I don't know what, should there be something at the start going, this is Grant and Maya, I'm really sorry for not introducing them? Or should I just kind of let it roll? Edit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Editing Sam is way more serious than recording Sam. And I'm like, I'll let editing Sam fix it.
I love that you said that, because that was our same experience. And then she mentioned you. She's like, we just recorded with Content and Capable, and we talked about alligators and crocodiles for most of the time. And I'm like, we have the intro of ours with them is like 20 minutes of just talking. It's just we just jumped into a conversation. They're very easy to talk to. So I love that you had the same experience as us.
Yeah. You saying that, I'm like, great. This sounds exactly the same. Like, did we record together? Were we all on the same call?
Like a 2-hour.
Yeah. I love it. The podcast, with the edits I've already made, is already approaching 2 hours, and I'm like, normally once it gets split 2 hours, I split it in half and we give it nice 1 hour segments. But then at the same time, I'm like, this is a lot. Like, this is like a stream of consciousness, and if I split it up, I think I'm going to lose someone.
Right. That's what
exactly.
we had to take 2 hours to 1 hour. And that's a lot of cutting, because sometimes it doesn't flow as well. And so I feel that. I feel it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lauren's
so
a
good.
beautiful editor, and she had to like call
Thank
me and
you.
be like, I don't know what to cut. I don't know what to leave it, and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, that's all you, girl. I'm just here to talk,
Right.
I raised the dilemma with some other creators in the Deus Ex Media Network, and someone turned around and was like, okay, real talk, is it good? I'm like, well, I'm still laughing at it, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Like, is it just me laughing at my
Right.
own and everyone else's jokes?
Yeah.
Or is this an incredibly funny conversation?
Exactly.
That's us.
I
You nailed
swear.
it, yeah.
I'll be like, like anything, any of our videos, any of our podcasts, I'll have my friends, I'll be like, listen to this. And I'm laughing at my own video, and I'm like, do you think this is funny? This is funny, right? And they're like, yeah, it's funny. I'm like, okay, because
Sorta,
I think this is-
kinda.
Yeah,
You're like,
sort of.
perfect.
Kind of. And I'm like, that's what we're going for. You hit it right on the head. Yeah. So many times.
You literally become that person with her podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, listen, I promise it's great.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's
Right.
funny. I make myself laugh. So.
Fascinating that you two are siblings. I have recorded episodes with my siblings, and it was like pulling teeth.
Yeah, same,
No.
same.
I don't know, what was it? Was there a reason why the two of you wanted to create a podcast together? Was there like, I don't know, like, did you guys have a predisposition for sharing funny stories in this format?
Lauren, do you want to take that one? Because that's a
I'll
long.
take the intro part. Excuse me. Yeah, all the correct answer. Yeah. So James and I, we actually just spoke about this. That's a big question we get is like, you're siblings and you have a podcast together. Like, how does that work? James and I were best friends all growing up. There's 4 of us children, 3 boys and me, and we all get along really well. James and I we all have similar
Weirdly.
sense of humor. We are like best friends, and I would still be like, yeah, he's like my best friend. And we would mess around a lot growing up, had a video camera and make funny skits. We had a lot of fun with that. And then it was like a year ago, we were talking about he's big into podcasts, and he's like, I was like mentioning a podcast, and he's like, oh, that'd be a great idea. I'd love to do it with you. And I was like, right, I'm going to make a podcast with myself. And so I didn't even like,
This
reach
is
out
almost
to
2
him.
years ago. Yeah. And I was like, okay, for sure. I was like, we should
Yeah.
definitely think about this. A month later, it's like, guys, go check out my
Published.
podcast coming out soon. I'm like, what the hell? Like, we just had this conversation.
I know. I was like 8 months pregnant, 9 months pregnant, and I was, a lot of hormones, and I was like, yeah, we're going to do it. And that's me. I'm very much, I want to do something, I do it. And so I've got ADHD, 50 tabs open in my brain, and this is one of the projects I started. And then James, you want to continue with the story?
Yeah.
There.
So, like Lauren said, I love podcasts. I have friends that make podcasts, and I follow a lot of different kinds. And I was like, okay, like, I think we could do this. And Lauren and I used to always like make fun, like she said, like funny like skits
We
and
have great
stuff. So-
banter.
yeah, so we always knew we were good at doing stuff together. But anyway, Lauren made her podcast. It was called She's Kind of Funny. So if you go back and listen to like early ones, we do say that. And then she asked me to be a guest, and I was like, okay,
The second
well,
episode.
yeah, the second episode. I went on. It was really fun. It was funny. And then I was like, well, if you want to do this again, like I'd love to, be a guest on as much as you want, because it was really fun. And then I think like 2 episodes later or a week later, you're like, hey, you should come on again. And then I think we did one more, and then you were like, you should just stay on. This is better. It's not just one person talking to a screen. It's like banter
Right.
back and forth. We can bounce off each other. And we've always done that, so it just kind of worked. So that's how we did that. Yeah, and then we rebranded from She's Kind of Funny, because we try to make like she, he, and then it kind of just sounded like Michael Jackson. We're like, she, he. It's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
So,
So
which
we're
we
like,
did
let's
love
not.
that.
Let's just we
Yeah.
did love a good Michael Jackson reference every
but
episode.
copyrights, you know. So
infringement, yeah. So sort of
so-
funny.
Thank you.
Yeah.
was born from that. So
I am incredibly jealous that you guys can work on a project together. Just for context, I'm the oldest of 10 kids, so there's a lot of children running
Wow.
around.
Yeah. Wait, what's the youngest? If you don't mind me asking, what's your age and what's the youngest age?
So I am 21,
baby.
and the youngest is 2.
Okay.
Holy cow.
So
That is a big gap. Is that amazing having like getting to play with like little kids and stuff that are your siblings?
waking up in my parents' house when I go to visit their place, and to a bunch of children surrounded by my bed, like we used to do to my aunts and uncles, is the most incredible feeling. And like, I've been a bit homesick the last few weeks. My parents came and visited. Probably wasn't the greatest idea because I am not going back up until after they're going away and I'm babysitting for them, etc., etc. It's a whole thing. Anyway, I thinking about that has I'm like, I miss like having little children like causing chaos around me.
Yeah.
And like the background noise that like a busy household of like more than 2 children in the house, to me, like, is just incredibly comforting. I love that background noise.
Peaceful.
Also love my peace and quiet, but like the background noise is perfect. Like someone getting in a fight with someone making noise.
You're like, this is Nirvana.
I love this. That's awesome.
That's
I bet
awesome.
your parents,
like, you know,
yeah. I bet they love having you babysit. Like, that's so nice.
Oh yeah, it's theoretically free for them. They're not paying anyone to do it,
Right?
And all I ask is for their love and support in the end, you know. So
you're like, just subscribe to my podcast.
You're like, if I got every single one of my siblings to have an account and subscribe and like, that's like 10 likes. That's like 12
amazing,
likes starting, you know?
Yeah, perfect.
I love it.
The really fascinating part is that we're all very close together. So I have twin brothers right underneath me, and we're 17 months apart. And so we've always done like the exact same things. The whole way through, just always been doing the exact same things in each other's pockets. And by the time we got to the end of high school, I think we were sick of each other. And you could tell because by the time I got into my last year of high school, my brothers started like going, for the sake of not doing the same thing as Sam, or for the sake of not doing the same thing as James or William, we're going to go and do something else. And then inevitably at some point we would rock up and be doing the same thing as them. So we've all played music through high school, and my brother made it into like the highest like youth orchestra in the state.
Wow.
And it was like rehearsals every week, and it was really like a lot of fun for him. 3 weeks later, we're at a music camp for our school, and the conductor of that orchestra is rocked up as a guest conductor. He hears me playing. He goes, "I need another trombone player. Come join my band. I know your brother's already a part of it."
Yeah, your brother's like,
spare time
don't you dare take this from me.
I don't think he's ever like fully admitted it to me, but I knew he was so upset.
Yeah.
I think he was glad towards the end that he had someone to commiserate with when things kind of turned south. There was some personal things that were going on. Part of the reason why I never studied music beyond high school. I still play, I just don't study it. But like, you know, it was a fascinating, you know, he was also the child who like I went down a trade line to like do trades and bits and pieces when, you know, I was doing physics and chemistry and film and music, you know, all very academic subjects. But like when I started the podcast, it probably was like, a year or 2 after I graduated. I still don't think they were. Like, we have great banter, but like, as soon as you put a microphone in front of that banter, they're like, nah.
They shy away, yeah. You're like, no, bring it out. Just hide the microphone next time. Clip it on their shirt without them knowing.
Yeah. Just
like,
walk up behind them. Clip it on. You're like, okay.
I'm gonna send them this clip of the podcast and say, look, you know, other people are suggesting it. I will do it if you're not careful.
Just a big boom mic. They're like, what are you doing? Please,
Which is someone random enters the house.
Just carrying. They're like, just act natural. Like, what do you want to do with that? With what? Just gaslight.
What
What are you
is
talking
it?
about?
Yeah.
Gaslight, yeah.
What is it?
That's
It's
just
not
my
there.
wall. It's painted. There's like a picture hiding behind. You can
He's
do it,
carrying a
Sam.
shrubbery.
I believe this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do it. I'll do it. We have recorded a couple episodes, and I always like look at those ones, and I'm like, I really love. We did like a Christmas in Australia one,
fun.
but we had gotten very drunk in the process of recording it.
That sounds magical.
That's perfect. That's
It was
like
great. We
Yeah.
were
Did you
in
guys
Alice
start
Springs
drinking-
in the middle of the desert, and we started drinking, and we just put a microphone.
There you
That's
go.
the best.
Did you have the shoe? Were you drinking out of the shoes when you were doing this?
We were not taking shoeies, unfortunately. We were helping my brother move back home from Alice Springs, and we'd been there for like a couple of days, and it was the last night before we had to like fly home. My brother, his twin, and myself had to fly home. I jumped on the plane, and planes are a great place to edit podcasts because there is literally nothing else to do. And I listened back to it, and I was like, shit, you are so drunk.
Yeah.
There is
Like this is
not a lot of
electrical.
usable content.
There's episodes I remember doing where I was definitely not sober and like thinking in my head, oh, this is so gold.
Right.
And
This is so good.
And sometimes it will be really funny when I'm sober listening to our episodes. And then other times going back, Lauren's like, I don't know what to keep in there. And I'm like,
What do you want me to do with this?
Yeah, she's like, it's so funny.
isn't
Or I say that.
nice.
And she's like, go listen to it. And I'm just like, and that's why exactly. And she's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm laughing, but yeah. Wait, so really fast. Sorry. Where are you from? Which city or what state and what city from Australia?
So this is a fun one. I've moved recently. So I'm originally from Brisbane in Queensland. So Queensland, weather-wise, is typically your Florida. And I've moved to a little town called Mansfield in Victoria. So it's about 2.5 hours outside of Melbourne. And it's right near like the ski slopes. So this is the southernmost ski slopes.
Yeah.
I actually think I've proved myself wrong this week when I went and checked, but I work at the local newspaper here. But like weather-wise, this is like, northern Italy kind of, it's wet during the winter and dry and beautiful through the summer and also like fucking hot. But yeah, no, it's but like, yeah, I've been like all over. It's funny because like I've been all over the country just traveling in general. I've got family all over the country, so it's like I don't feel like I need to be like tied down to one place. I don't know. What is it like for you guys?
Well, Lauren and I grew up. Our dad was military, so he was in the U.S. Air Force, and so we moved a lot when we were younger. And then after that, I've been pretty much. So when I graduated high school, I lived in Ecuador for a couple years, and then our parents moved to Germany. So then I went and lived with them for a little bit, and then I moved out to Utah. I've been in Utah ever since then. Lauren's been kind of all over the place also.
Yeah, so Mississippi, just south of Memphis, Tennessee, is where we spent the longest. It was like 6th grade for me to senior year, and then James did more time there. But I'm in South Carolina now.
He did more time there.
He did more time with our parents. Yeah. So my husband's job, we've traveled a lot for his program that he's doing, but right now we're in South Carolina. So yeah, we're pretty far apart with recording and everything. So the Zoom thing, we're very familiar with this.
Always been like
wish we all
7
lived
o'clock.
closer.
Yeah, we're like this time. So in Australia,
5,
it's
7.
like 7 a.m. Here, it's like just 10 different time zones.
I love time zones. It's one of those things where it's so fucked up here in Australia that like it has become a bit of a micro obsession as an extension of the podcast. Like there are more time zones than there are states in this country.
What?
No. What?
Yes. And it's stupid.
So did you change time zones when you moved?
I did
3
at the
times.
time, and then daylight savings ended.
3 times. Oh no, yeah. So then,
luckily the East Coast is fine. Like usually it's pretty uniform. The only change is that like Queensland, the state I lived in, refuses to, because the top of the state is actually really close to the equator, and so it's like, why would we do daylight savings when half our state will be stupid?
Exactly.
Right. I wish we didn't do it.
I actually prefer if the sun came up at 4 a.m. I actually legitimately do, because the earlier the sun's up, the earlier I'm up, and I'm not a morning person. So,
So you could never live in like one of the poles where, or like, really, really far south where it's like
Alaska.
Winter time is always like dark, and summer's always light. You're just like, I don't sleep or I never wake up. So
I spent 12 days in Tasmania at the southernmost point of the country, and it is a beautiful spot in the world. It was the middle of summer and it was cold. Like I was wearing a jacket. And the sun didn't set till like 10 p.m. And it was great because you could do stuff until like outside until like 10 p.m. It was like being in England in the summer.
Yeah, that's like here. It doesn't, in the summer here, the sun does not go down until 9 p.m., which is great because we do stuff all the time.
You can get off work and still do stuff outside. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It is amazing. But then like at the same time, I was like, I'm actually so exhausted, but I am not going to be able to go to sleep if I go to bed right now. So it is up until 10 p.m. for me.
Yeah. And quick question on that. In Tasmania, were the devils just just like, did you see a lot of them just spinning around and chasing bunny rabbits and stuff?
They're actually an endangered species of all things. So like to have a Tasmanian devil in popular culture, they keep getting, it's not, the koalas get chlamydia.
Yeah, and that's
devils get.
They get it from the Tasmanian devils. They're fucking left and right. You can't stop them.
I don't know what disease the Tasmanian devils get, but they get like a mouth disease that like isn't great.
Mouth chlamydia for sure.
These little devils. Oh my God.
It's a beautiful spot in the country. I was unfortunately not out and about in nature as I normally like to be. I was at a conference for 12 days, which was lovely because in the afternoon we got to like sit on this hill and like, eat lunch outside and bits and pieces, and it was really beautiful. But like most of the middle of the day when it would be like mildly warm, we were inside like listening to talks. I was like let me outside.
Yeah. It's like touching the glass, like
just fantasizing about the outdoors.
Yeah, just imagining the chlamydia of the Tasmanian devils and the koala bears.
You want to get a piece of that action? Yeah.
Give me whatever they're getting.
So, like, when you guys were
I'm sorry.
From chlamydia to Sibling.
Right.
That's a great segue.
We are clean, by the way.
Like, it's like the Instagram page Siblings or Dating. Like chlamydia.
There's
an
that weird
Instagram
reality
page out there
TV
called
show.
Siblings or Dating.
Oh, you have to get because there's that weird reality TV show where it's like your sibling comes on and you have to date someone, not your sibling, but your sibling's there. I'm like, this is just weird. Why don't we just remove the sibling in the relationship altogether? So that's what you're making me think.
Yeah, they're taking that whole like step sibling thing to like a next level that I'm not here for,
We don't like it. Yeah, we don't support
that. We don't like that. No.
I did see Mothers and Sons on an American dating show.
I saw
Thank
that.
you for the work you do.
Yeah.
We watched the first 2 episodes. We're horrified enough that we haven't watched any more.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna look at that Instagram page. Look it up.
Both that and the show you're talking about, I think you said it's TLC. I remember seeing a clip of it or like the advertisement or whatever for it, and I was like, this is sick beyond what needs to be happening. Yeah, I was like, why do you want to watch your 40-year-old mom or like your 50-year-old mom dating your 20, like someone who was on cocaine and Viagra? Those two, they crushed them up, snorted, and were like, moms and sons, not together, but in the same room.
Let's not do incest, but let's try to get as close to incest as we possibly can.
Let's cross that line a little bit. Just straddle that line.
Dip our toes. Not feet though. Not a feet show. We're gonna do that next week.
I know it received bad reviews, but like, there's this show Fuckboy Island, which we watched religiously here because they did the Australian version after a season in the US, and it's hosted by Australian podcast extraordinaire / hilarious person on the internet, Abby Chatfield. She's like a massive internet celebrity. Through COVID, she was like telling everyone off for like not wanting to get the vaccine. She's like, I know you do ketamine, and then someone remixed it into like a house beat.
Right. She's like, I already know you do drugs and insert things into your body. Why not the COVID shot?
I've seen you finding Tasmanian devils and koalas and performing heinous acts on both of them. You need to get this. You need to get this vaccine.
They're like, loosen up. She's like,
yeah. And she like hosted it, and like it was amazing. If anyone has watched like F-Boy Island on like the US version, go and watch the Australian version, because we tried to watch the US version. We got an episode and a half in, and it was not watchable. Like it was just what the drama wasn't there. Like I don't know what
Australians do it really well on reality TV, like Love Island, Australia. They're the best characters. Or what's
Yummy
the Netflix
Mommy?
one? The one, yes, I love Yummy Mommy. The one where you too hot to handle. Like the Australian people are always the best.
Yeah.
Like they're so fun.
The Aussies are always my favorite.
Yeah.
We know. I think it's a very unique thing about just kind of the way we operate as a country. We just know how to rile people up just the right amount for the drama.
Yeah.
But like, not so much that you get yourself into trouble. So they had two Americans on the Australian version of Fuckboy Island, and it was fascinating to watch them interact with these Australians. One guy like held these very traditional, like kind of ownership-y sense of like how to date a woman.
Oh.
And the Australians were not having a bar of it. They're like, you don't own this woman. And the guys, especially the Australian guys, were so ready to tell the three female contestants what was going on and like dob on everyone else. Like, he's doing this and he's doing that. And I was like, yes, please tell us. Like,
I love that.
Look, dragging it all the way back to Siblings.
Sorry, roundabout.
As I tried to get, we almost got back to the mainstream of conversation, and we immediately went off on another tangent.
We'll hold our tongues. We'll let you take the reins back before we take it 7 directions.
But like, so obviously different like areas of the country. You guys been. Has it kind of changed the relationship between the two of you in terms of as siblings? I feel like I need to make that clear now that we've had that whole conversation.
Yeah. Non-intimately.
Dear God. No. Yeah, James, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, we get to ask this a lot. I don't think I ever really thought about it until we've been doing other people's podcasts and they ask us this.
Right.
And not really. Lauren and I think it's changed it in a positive way, because we now get to talk. Like we still used to talk on the phone pretty regularly, but now it's like we have a scheduled, like at least once a week we're going to be talking. Right. Except the one thing though we did say last time when someone asked us this is, now whenever Lauren and I are on the phone, I'm like, why is this not being recorded? This is so funny. This is great material. Like, you know, so other than that, no, it's been a positive thing, I think. But
yeah, I would say it hasn't changed, except for benefits. Like we'll call the schedule. We'll call, just be like, well, I got this for the episode. Like, you know, talking about the podcast, like a common like goal and like fun thing that we do, and then calling for the episodes. Like, it hasn't changed it, but it's just given us a reason to call more, even though we did that. So it really hasn't.
So now we record it, and we're like,
now we record it and post to the internet for other people to be like, maybe that shouldn't have been published.
And we're like, we thought that too, and then we did. So
did it? Yeah.
I don't know. Because I'm quite young and I still have quite young siblings. Do you guys? And I almost wonder, like, do you guys still like fight like over the stupid shit? Like,
did we ever really? We did fight some growing up,
but not
we
would have had to have. Like,
yeah, we did a little bit, but
I'm
really,
jealous.
it's weird because I'm gonna call out our oldest sibling. Our oldest brother was kind of the mischievous, like the most angsty of
I was
us.
gonna say not even mischievous. It was
Not
just the one that we
mischievous.
all argued with the most, and so we almost
Yes.
we
He's
almost had, kind of had
argumentative.
like
Mhm.
a common enemy, and then because of that, now we're all great, right? But this is like growing
Yeah.
up. But
Yeah,
then
he was
once-
a teenager. We were younger. We were annoying. Because I was
Yeah.
the only girl, my personality was a little bit more like, I wasn't quiet, but I was the most tame out of the three boys running around.
Which is
but
saying a
we all-
lot because
Right,
tame,
right.
tame's not a word I would use to describe you.
But we didn't, we fought some, but it was rare. Like we would hang out in high school, like he was 2 grades younger than me during break or whatever. Like we had band together, like, you know, you did band. We would hang out and talk and people would be like, you guys are kind of like,
Weirdly
friends.
close.
That's a little weird. Yeah, you guys like actually don't hate each other. I'm like, no, we don't. But I think a lot of that was our parents, like with the job moving a ton. We were our only friends with destination A, B, C, D. You know, so it was like, well, built-in best friend. We might as well. And we just our personalities meshed well. So the oldest brother was kind of our common. Now we're all really good friends, but yeah. Sorry, that's a long answer.
I'm mildly called out. No. I'm like, as you said,
Not you,
our oldest sibling,
Sam.
I was like, oh no. No,
No.
I think it is. I think it's just the common experience of being an older sibling is that you are at odds with the rest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't know.
His
The amount
personality
of-
was stronger than ours, though. It was very different. You seem very mellow. You seem very fun.
I do
He was fun,
tone it
but in a
down.
different way. You do. Okay.
I have noticed that it's a hard thing because not all of my siblings are adults either. It's quite hard. I'm on okay terms with my brothers. We have our spats.
Yeah.
Like I have gotten into phone arguments with my siblings, but then at the same time I've been giving them dating advice from time to time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. You
as
have
someone-
that age difference
yeah.
to do that. Yeah.
Well, as someone who is less experienced in the dating world than they are, I'm the one telling them to calm down and
Yeah.
take things slow and don't stress. They'll
Yeah.
get back to you. Admittedly, I've spent more time hanging around girls who are actively dating, kind of understand how that situation is supposed to work. But anyway, admittedly,
Do you have,
that's
an
how
inside-
I justify.
Yeah, but you have an inside perspective. So yours is not just oh, here's what I did. This is these are my
Yeah.
friends who are girls. That actually might be more
That's
valuable,
helpful.
information.
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder whether he appreciates unsolicited advice from me. But,
Yeah.
He will someday. He will someday. Yeah.
I don't know. With the amount of babysitting I do at the moment, it's not a huge amount because I do live, a 2-hour flight away from my parents' place. But, with the amount of babysitting I do, it's often I come in and I'm like, I'm here to look after you and make sure the house doesn't turn to look like it's a bomb's been dropped on it.
Catch
those are
fire.
the
Yeah.
two-
Safety. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with like we said with the oldest brother, I feel like I was the closest with him growing up because I was calmer with them. But now, the age difference made it big. But now we're all good. We're all sorry, brother. And he's listening, I hate you.
Yeah. No. But now, like Lauren said, we're all super, super close now. Almost everyone we've talked to about our family dynamic is that's rare. And I'm
weird.
It's to
We're
have all
very
this
fortunate with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do
Except
think it probably comes with moving constantly.
Yeah.
As you
Yes.
said,
That's what I claim, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again,
Our parents did a great job at making us hang out and working together as a family too.
Yeah, well, our parents are also the ones that were okay, well, we don't love, video games. We'd rather have you guys hang out, that kind of stuff. So it was you interact with people
Go outside.
rather than
we're
go outside. So we got good at being friends with people in general. And then we're well, you're fun, but my siblings are just as weird as I am. So maybe I'll hang out with the weirdo who I'm related to.
Yeah.
they can't leave.
Yeah, they can't run away
Yeah.
from me.
This is the first time I've been living at a home with people that aren't my siblings, because my brothers and I moved into a place together at one point, but also with people who I feel like I'm actually living with. I'm not just living in the same place as.
Right. Roommates, yeah.
And the judgment that my housemates give for like some of the weird things I do and say, and like the words, some of the phrases that I've like realized are not normal things to say, like they're very old school, that I like have picked up from my aunts and uncles, and like it's fascinating.
so fun,
It's
though.
like incredibly
Yeah.
crazy.
That's like what we do. We'll have our inside jokes. When my husband first met my brothers, my family, it was like, or any of my friends, when they would meet, you know, my younger brothers and older brother, they're like, it's another language. It's very odd. Like, and we
Yeah.
all speak loudly and very fast paced. We're usually talking like this, and we're saying inside jokes, and everyone's like, what are they saying? You know, it's
And trying to
A lot.
overtalk the other
we talk over
person.
each
Yeah.
other. Right. So I love what you're saying about the weird, like the odd things you say. That's us. Right at
I
home.
feel that on such a level. I have roommates, and again, I have roommates for the very first time in a long time, and I'm a little bit older than most of them, and so I'll be like, "What are you talking about there, buddy? Like, I don't understand that phrase." You know, they just say stuff, and I'm like, "I don't know what that means." Like,
yeah.
so yeah, it's been a wild time. I'm like,
Yeah,
Vine.
yeah,
Do you remember
it's-
Vine? Remember that one?
They're like,
They're
TikTok.
like, I was in elementary, and I'm like, oh, well.
yeah. Sam, when you're 21, you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we
You're
all
Gen
sit
Z,
down
we
at the
love it.
table, look, sometimes I like, because when I was born, admittedly, my parents were not in the greatest of financial positions. We kind of grew up with like almost like a generation, like especially me and my the older three kind of like grew up almost like a generation behind.
Yeah.
Like we didn't. They changed to digital TV signals in what, like 2008, and I think in 2010 we were still watching like analog TV. There was only one channel left. It was like really low quality. For any Australian, it was Toasted TV at the time. It was on Channel 10. Of course, it was Channel 10 that was the last one to like swap over. Anyway, but and then like there's photos of me, and like because it was 2001, it was very like very 90s, like we were still dressing the child up like they were a 90s kid.
I love that.
Wow.
And then I look at like my like in the thick of it Gen Z siblings, and I'm like, you guys have no idea.
It's so
of, like,
different. Yeah.
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 and-
you were gonna say something about around the table, your family.
Oh yes.
Or I rudely interrupted you. Yeah.
Sitting around the table is like, it's like sensory overload on a crazy scale. Imagine trying to fit like 13 people around the table, because my grandfather
Right.
also lives with us. And mum and dad for years have tried to like get us to talk about like what was something you learned today, or what was your favorite
Right.
part of the day. You go around the table, and it's supposed to be one by one because we're not very great listeners as a family.
Yeah.
And that one is not just a byproduct of being in a large family. I would argue that is something coming from external forces on that one. I won't name names, but I think my mother knows who to blame, and my father, if he ever listens to this, will have no idea what I'm talking about, which is great. But so like sitting at the table, and then like someone will say what their favorite part of the day was, and then it'll remind someone of something else, and so there's a tangent going down on one end of the table.
Yes.
The other end of the table, the child's like, I haven't even gotten to like my favorite part of the day. I just mentioned this for context.
They're all mad. They got skipped. Oh. And then the 2-year-old's just throwing their food.
Oh yeah. Someone's already finished dinner. Like another child's getting in trouble for parenting the other child.
Yeah, your mom hasn't eaten yet. It's like she's just sitting down while everyone's dumping their plates.
Mum's gluten and dairy free, so she has to make her meal separate. So hers often does come later. So she's like, I'm just sitting down.
Oh no.
Sir. Bless her.
It's like, everyone
Someone
come
spills
back.
a
Tell me
cup
your
of
favorite
drink.
part of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed it. They're just fighting at this point. It's just a big old ball of dust in kids'
and then
arms.
it inevitably just devolves into name calling of some way. And like my parents are like, you're not supposed to be name calling, but like everyone's okay with it. So
Yeah.
It's like me parenting. I'm like, if you said that, then I'm sure you deserved, to be called like that thing. Then use those cuss words correctly, children. Like if we're gonna throw out a word, don't do it wrong.
Don't call
say
your
it at
brother.
school.
Yeah, don't say it at school, and don't call your brother a mother bitch. It doesn't make any sense. Let's teach you how to swear.
Right. Let's get this correct,
This
kids.
is yeah, exactly. Sorry. Don't call your mother a bitch. Let's teach you how to swear.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah, but it is. It's absolute chaos. And I wouldn't be... I don't know. My dad has this theory that, like, anything more than, like, 4 or 5 children and it doesn't change. Like, it's the same.
I've heard
Yeah,
that.
so he's like,
feeling.
just keep going, just keep going, just keep going.
Why stop with 10? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, someone asked whether we would go cheaper by the dozen, and
Yeah,
Dad says yes, and Mum rolls her eyes.
Your
mom's like, maybe
factory is
twins.
closing.
Yeah. If I can ask, sorry, how old are your parents?
So they were. People can do the maths if they want. They were 22 when they had me,
Okay.
and they got married 3 months beforehand.
Yeah.
Literally 2 weeks after 9/11.
Wow.
And then Mum was 6 months pregnant, which I didn't realize until like later on in life that like my parents were 6 months pregnant when they got married.
Yeah, you just saw
and
the
then
wedding
now-
pictures and were like, wow, that's normal. That's what people
Mom.
look like in their wedding dress. You're glowing,
Well-
Mom. You're glowing.
Your
And
your
it's
skin's amazing.
fascinating. Yeah, Mum was incredibly skinny at the time. Like she was playing all sorts of sports, and Dad was playing rugby, so he was much fatter at the time. Like you needed the weight to kind of like throw himself around because he's not an exceptionally tall person. So he was holding all this weight on his body, and I think it was right around when I was graduating, Mum pulled out his old wedding suit, and it didn't obviously it didn't fit Dad, but like it didn't fit me either, and I'm like much larger than my dad is now. Dad rides like 50 k's a day, but like I like went to go put it in his suit, and like that was large. That man was a rugby
So
player.
large.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. Your mom was playing tons of sports. Your dad was playing rugby. And then somewhere something went wrong and you all became musicians. Am I following this timeline correctly? Or
I wouldn't say wrong. I would say
you guys have the
amazingly
genes, it
sweat-
sounds like, to be absolutely disgusting athletes. And you're like, trombone. I'm just messing with you. But do any of your siblings...
No, you're valid. You're very valid.
Can you throw a rugby?
Dad
ball?
played
What's it called?
music all the way through as well. So Dad
Oh,
was like
okay.
an all-rounder.
Yeah.
And he always talks about how he was an all-rounder, and we all roll our eyes because it's like, yeah, we know because you like told
You
us
are
to do the exact
perfect.
same.
Yeah, you're
Right,
like,
you're like-
okay.
You're athlete, super talented.
Yeah.
Like, don't tune you out
yeah.
now.
And then, but like the insistence was we all played piano from the age of 4.
Okay.
And we all learnt like a second instrument once we hit 7th grade. So,
Okay.
I play trombone. I have siblings who play trumpet and tuba and saxophone and cello and
Wow.
percussion.
You have
Wow,
a
you have a
whole
band.
orchestra.
Yeah,
You guys could literally do the
Yeah.
entire
That's
band
really
with just
cool.
your family.
And then we have 2 pianos in the house as well. So when piano practice
cool.
is happening simultaneously, which
Oh
is
my
now
gosh.
rare,
Just
you
dueling.
can sit in the kitchen. Yeah, you can sit in the kitchen and hear both and give advice to
Dun, dun,
both
dun.
piano players.
Back and forth. It's a Bugs Bunny scene. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh,
That's
it's
really
lovely.
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good
One
Von
of my-
Trapp family.
Yeah, one of my favorite bars I've ever been to is up here in Salt Lake, Utah, and they have what they call dueling pianists, and they have these grand pianos facing each other, and they'll either take turns playing songs, and each one's kind of better at a certain genre than the other, so whatever they take, they'll usually like give it to the other. But sometimes they'll actually do like dueling, so they'll like play, and then the other one plays like in reaction to, and then they're both singing and playing, and then they'll harmonize, and it's really,
That's
really cool.
fun.
And I'm like half tipsy. And I'm like, this is fucking phenomenal, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. So anyway, it was really, really fun. So it kind of reminds me of that, except practice not necessarily at a bar where your 2-year-old sibling should probably not be. So, or at the piano, if I'm being honest.
Look, to be honest, mum, I don't know, they were all, it's a weird dynamic. I don't know, for you guys, outside of, like, podcasting, do you get together in person much? Obviously, you're kind of spread all over the country.
We try to get together with holidays, like Thanksgiving's kind of become our big thing, but so my husband's job is very busy, and I have 3 children. So I'm a stay-at-home mom, and so I can't leave much with his job. Like, he has 4 days off a month, and so it's very difficult if I was, going to travel. So with us, it's like, come to us, come visit. We'll help pay for tickets. Like trying to bribe people to come to us. But James, there's a sibling next to James, so they get to see each other often, but we don't get to see each other much.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't see each other very much. Usually for Thanksgiving, that's like Lawrence is a big one. We see each other, and I live next to my brother, so I see him a lot. But yeah, Lauren and I do not see each other very much, unfortunately. But yeah, they do offer
content.
Yeah, they do offer to come see. It's just the problem is I'm also in a pretty high demand schooling program, so my time is it's like study, go to work, record with Lauren, try to fit dating in there somewhere.
Right. We all have pretty busy work and school lives, so it's like no one really travels as much. It sucks, but...
How old are you guys?
I'm 29.
That's a question to ask.
No, it's not weird. We asked you that.
I'm 27.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's still that kind of like, at least in my understanding, because all my aunts and uncles were incredibly young when I was born, so I kind of got to watch them go, like, from uni through to, being an actual adult, and now they've all got children.
Yeah.
Like, I remember you jumping off cliffs, watching you as a child, jumping off cliffs, and now you have 5 children. So
yes,
right.
But like, so it's still like that kind of like trying to figure out like how things work kind of.
Yeah, I'd say
desperately holding on to tradition.
Yeah, I would say for me it's definitely that phase, whereas like Lauren and her husband are a lot more like solidified, and they're like, okay, we have 3 kids, they're in school, he has his job, where I'm like, okay, I'm in university and I have my program, but also it's like I could make going to another state and snowboard this weekend work, like, why not? I got nothing stopping me, so yeah. Right. And then like you said, trying to still see everyone in Thanksgiving and stuff, it's definitely it's hard.
Yeah, I don't wish it upon anyone. I work in journalism at a newspaper, and it's great because it's the first job I've had that's far enough away that like I have to travel, and it's like also I've earned enough money that I can like pay for the travel as well. So,
right.
Like I'm like,
you reached that grown-up job, like we can travel. Yeah.
So like I'll come back to my hometown because a lot of my uni friends are still at uni. Go. I'm coming up. I'm coming up to watch the musical that you guys are watching this week with you all. So we will go and watch shows together.
That's fun.
And then like I'll pop into my parents' place for like a couple of hours and like see them all in person, and like rocking up at the front door and having the kids at the other end of the hallway spot me and like run and yell is like the most amazing feeling.
It's magic.
It's just dopamine, dopamine in your brain. You're like, this is joy right here. I paid for this.
Yeah.
A bunch of children under the age of 10 excited to see you. Yes, please.
Yes, it's like holidays, I'm sure, when you go home. Like nothing like a holiday with kids, and everything's literally magic. It's very fun. It's very special. I'm sure you love going home for all that.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just to say it's amazing.
Yeah, I was saying like 100%. I get that. I don't have kids, and Lauren and our older brother have kids, and so every time I see them, either one of them, if it's like I'm visiting them specifically, or all of us together for a holiday, the exact same thing. Like hearing them, they're like, "Oh, it's Uncle James," and I love kids, and so getting to spend time with them and playing with them is just like the best
They're obsessed,
thing
yeah.
ever.
They'll hear me not really editing the podcast because a lot of things we say should not be said around little kids.
No.
It'll be like snippets that are fun, like our intro, They're like, "Is that Uncle James again?" I'm like, "That is him." Yes, you hear his voice a lot.
Yeah.
Here. They're obsessed.
Oh, that's lovely. That's amazing. And like, I suppose like as the podcast has progressed, have you kind of like changed have you changed the podcast at all at any point? Like, have you kind of look back at like your first, obviously not your first few episodes, but like, your first like year or so, and you go, oh, we've like kind of gotten into a really good rhythm, and it's slightly different than what we were expecting.
The biggest change is definitely the name, because it was the "she's kind of funny" to the "sorta kind of
and
funny"
the aesthetic that went with that.
Yeah, it was very much like, it was like
Pink.
Young moms, pink, that kind of stuff. And it's like, we still like, I love pink. Let's keep the pink. Let's add some purple because I like purple.
Yeah.
And then some blue, right?
So,
Rather than
you're
like,
right. It's more.
Yeah.
I did a little bit more 60s like pink, and now it's a little bit more 70s, 80s. Like we like very retro. We kind of kept that bright colors.
Yeah.
As far as topics though, like our best episodes that people seem to love are the storytelling ones where people get to submit their stuff. And we do, which we've always kind of stuck throughout that. We did a little bit like, we tried conspiracy theories, we tried a true crime. Like, it's just kind of fun that we're just trying different things, but we haven't changed a huge, besides what James said, like, we're kind of grooving down this little 18-month year, or a year and 18 months path. And we haven't changed anything crazy, right? I feel like, just this,
it's pretty similar.
But
yeah,
it's been fun.
I do. Yeah, we stick to like comedy, follow our stories, and then we just kind of go off on our tangents, which again, in the beginning when it was just Lauren, it's like, it's kind of harder to do that. You can do it for a second, but when you have one person say something and then the other person says something, kind of like you said at your family table at night when everyone's trying to talk, it's just like one thing then sparks another thing, then sparks another thing. Yeah. So it's really, but other than that, not a ton has changed, which I love. I think it's great. It's
I
like,
love it too, yeah.
You can go
it's
back
fun.
and
it's
listen to our podcast and just like pretty much get the same thing from the very beginning until you catch all the way up.
I will say, okay, here's one. When I first let James on, it was a lot more tame. That has changed.
Yes.
It's been like explicit, as I've let him say more, because, I'm not like in charge anymore like I was, but so a lot more things fly topic wise and crude humor wise, but that, that's what we're here for. It's fun.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
we kind of changed it from like, young moms, pretty much that was like the vein, into like, okay, well, let's have like young adults to like, like 18
Gen Z,
to
millennial,
45 year age range,
just
like
crude humor, relatable,
yeah. So just kind of in that vein,
Yeah.
and then like you never know what you're gonna get.
Within, I think within those generations as well, like especially like early Gen Z and late millennials, there is that kind of like desire for like silly, crude, not necessarily, appropriate around polite company kind of humor that we just I don't think we get a chance to just see in our day-to-day lives. So there's always like definitely a niche for it.
Yeah. I mean, like quite literally what you said, the whole like maybe not around certain company, like our intro is our grandmother saying like, 9 out of 10 grandmas probably wouldn't approve of this, but the one grandma that would approve, she's like super bitchin', right? Like it's like
you start off really strong. Yeah, she's British. She's got this amazing British accent. You're like, what am I getting into? Like,
you're like, fun. It sounds so like, tame. Mary Poppins gonna have tea, and then you're like, hold on.
And she says bitchin'.
So
I like to grab people by the throats immediately, so they're like, run, fight or flight.
Just a little hard enough to where they really like it.
They're enjoying it. Yeah,
I'm gonna spit in your mouth. That's our podcast.
No, we don't go. Stand up. They're like coming to our shows. Like, are you gonna spit in my mouth? No.
You said you would.
Yeah, calm yourself.
Shh. It's in the back room.
Yeah. I slipped them a 5 and meet me around back.
Yeah, like, it's money.
You paid me
a little bit. You paid me. I enjoy this.
This is my thing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I think on that note, we might
You're like,
we might
"Get off."
draw it to. Do you want to be spitting your mouth and go and listen to?
Do you want your ears to be?
Jeez. Now they're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Essentially, do you want the podcast to spit in your mouth through your
ear
ears?
holes. Mm-hmm. Do you like a good ear hole spitting? Listen's sort of kind of funny. But it's also fun, guys. It's fun.
It's fun.
We promise it's fun.
Yeah, we promise you will laugh or you will turn off the podcast very quickly. We'll find our company, you know. You'll know.
And that's totally fine either way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a random question for you, Sam, because you have guests every single time. They're different, mostly. How is that? Because everyone's a different personality, and you could show up as obviously, but like, do you have interactions where you're like, oh, okay, this isn't vibing? Obviously, we were vibing, and now we are best friends. But
We're
like,
besties.
is it weird
Sam
to
is
get so many
Sam is
different
my favorite.
personalities? Yeah, Sam, I am.
It is fascinating. Because I work in journalism, I do this for a living. But back when I started, I was just a uni student, and I was in the middle of COVID, and I started like mid 2021, and we were still kind of going through rolling lockdowns, etc. But I initially found it very hard to consistently find new and interesting guests.
That's hard.
And
yeah.
the podcast started, for those who haven't listened to the first season, which I do not recommend you listen to the first season, but you
go back and listen
if you wanted to.
You go back right now.
It was started as like an adulting podcast. And I'm so glad I kept the name neutral, because pretty quickly I learned that like all I really wanted to do with the podcast was to have a long form conversation about like people's passions and how like their passion and their life kind of intersect with each other.
Yeah.
Which is like to an extent adulting, but it's not like
right. So your
adulting.
initial going in was adulting, how to adult and stuff, and now it's more like having a conversation. What do you enjoy? Your passion. So that's a big shift, but also you can see how it correlates. So that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, and it came quite naturally.
Right.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
And most of the time I'm trawling through TikTok and Instagram, just going, is there someone that's mildly funny? Especially if there's more than one person who like are on a podcast together and they're vibing really well. Part of me goes, okay, so they already like know how to hold like a entertaining conversation with each other. It wouldn't be too hard for me to like insert a question every like 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, just let them talk.
Yeah. Which is basically what Grant and Maya did, except I only needed to insert a question every 20 minutes. And
then you just sat back and you're like, this is happening.
Continue.
It's on the mind, guys. It's on the mind. But, I've had, like, really fascinating conversations. I did, like, election coverage for the radio station where I was running the newsroom for. So, like, I've spoken to, like, politicians who are really defensive and want, like, the conversation to be over as fast as possible.
Wow.
I've had conversations with, like, really good friends of mine that have, like, completely fizzled out mid-recording, and we've had to, like, try to recover it.
Wow.
Yeah. When you
You're just
also get
staring
very
at each other.
serious.
Yeah.
You get very serious ones. I think your last one was a trans person or non-binary, and they were talking about, changing their name and changing all that. Like, so you have from very funny, more serious. I think that's cool that you have a wide variety of guests.
Yeah,
cool.
I love a podcast that doesn't have just one vein. That's what Laura and I try to talk about when we do different stuff. We're like, guys, this is our podcast, and we want to be able to be serious and comedy and kind of do our own thing. And I love that. That's super awesome.
Yeah, and it helps that, like, as well as, like, I'm very easy to be convinced to get behind a cause as well. Obviously to an extent, but like I don't know, like Charlie, who I had on about changing their name, was like a very fascinating conversation, because I know what it's like here, at least, to change your name. I have friends of mine who, are trans and non-binary, but like seeing how like the complexities of like having to remind people that your name is different and like bits and pieces. But it's always so incredibly fascinating. Sorry, I was looking back at past episodes all of a sudden.
You're good. That's cool. I think those are really cool conversations to have too, and important for people, because I think some people are ignorant and just don't know. And so when they're, they like this podcast and this conversation is brought to them, it makes you think, it makes you, I think that's great that you have all sorts of guests.
Yeah. And wedged between like two chaotic conversations, one with, a friend of mine who has changed in her relationship with writing, but also has like consistently some of the hottest takes I've ever known in my life. And then granted my art the week afterwards, like
it's just,
there is so much content.
Yeah. Is it mostly good conversations that you've had, or mostly just like weird dead air? They don't know how to talk back and like hold a conversation? Because like you said with your siblings, you get a microphone in front of you and things can shift for the good or for the really bad.
If I have a sense, I'm usually pretty good at like having a sense of whether a conversation's going to work. And I would say that I'm pretty good at then being ready to prepare content.
Yes.
So like one of the first episodes this year, I spoke to this lovely content creator from our capital city, Canberra, and she spends a lot of time like saying, like how people like say Washington DC, there's nothing to do in Washington DC. They do the same with our capital city, Canberra. There's nothing to do in Canberra.
Right.
And she's spent like a year and a half on TikTok going, there's actually things to do. Like, and it's a beautiful spot in the country as well.
Yeah.
But I had a feeling that like she does talk a lot and she's great at talking, but like I felt like the bridge between like spans of talking was going to be a bit of a problem. So it was like, okay, let's just, preload some questions and be ready to go, let's talk about this and let's talk about that. I had like a uni friend of mine on, she runs her own podcast about like the arts in Brisbane. And it was like, I just was like, okay, I need to prepare questions because she's not going to respond well to like banter. Right.
Yeah, because and also it's like if your sense of humor is different, that could like if they don't get your jokes and you're like, we're just the chlamydia talk earlier. Like,
yeah, that's going to be a big one.
All right, you're back.
Well, it was fascinating. We like went on a full 15-minute tangent about a year ago, I reckon, with a guest about koalas and chlamydia. And they just couldn't get their head around the fact that koalas, like, and it is the thing that is killing off koalas. Half of it is like deforestation and like dodgy governments. The other half is koala chlamydia. It's like a big issue. We don't have many koalas left. They don't have chlamydia.
That's so sad. I think
it's
koalas.
like 2 out of 3 or something like that have it, right? It's like a crazy high number.
Yeah.
My friend, he lived in Australia for a couple of years, and I remember him sending a picture holding a koala, and we're all like, don't get any STDs from those boys. They'll get you.
Oh, he's just a baby. They're so cute.
It's pretty amazing. And the other thing, and I really should use this claim to fame more often, is that I live 20 minutes away from the Irwin's place.
Oh my gosh, very cool. Wait. I think it's cool. Owen. The Irwins, very cool.
Yeah.
You're like, Bindi, what you doing? It's like rapping on the window.
Well, and like every second person I met in Brisbane had some way of like, knowing like Robert personally, because obviously everyone has the hots.
Right. He's the same. Precious.
Same.
Yeah. There was a video of him recently, and someone made a comment of like he's looking more like his dad every day. I'm like, be careful,
Daddy. Yeah. And it's weird. I remember we watched that show when we were little, and he was still, like our age, little, and now he's like he's a very attractive man, but also it's his skill set. Like
he's
what
like
they
a
do is very
man.
manly. He's a man.
He's younger than I am. Like,
how old is he?
It's kind of scary. He graduated after I did.
Okay, so he is a legal adult. And then his sister Bindi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bindi, yeah. And
they're so
she's
cute.
like, it's fascinating getting married and having children, like how it changes their relationship with like being in the public eye. And obviously, like Bindi and Chandler, I think understood that they were going to be in the public eye. Like Bindi was on Dancing with the Stars in this stage,
Yeah.
How old is Bindi?
She's older than him,
must
right?
be around your age. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching
she
her
was
on
definitely
Dancing with the
older than
Stars.
I was.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's cool.
they're cool.
I remember watching a video.
25 she is.
She's 25. Okay. I remember I watched this video and it was the parents explaining how they met each other and how they fell in love, and like Steve's interaction of I cannot remember his wife's name. I feel really bad, but whatever his wife's name is, she's like, because she's American, and she's like, oh, I went to this show and I saw this guy who was very attractive, and then Steve is like, I'm trying to do this thing, and I look out and crikey, there's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, and she's like, he was very nice. We took a picture, and he's like, I knew right there my heart's about to pump out of my chest, and she's like, yeah, and anyways, and it's such a
like, shut up,
like,
Steve.
Yeah, she's like, he was so nice.
So,
He's like,
animated.
Yeah. It's so funny. And then they actually take a picture
Sam,
together.
how was that imitation? How did James do?
Oh, yeah, was that horrible?
He encapsulated the energy and like the like the idea of the accent perfectly. The actual accent itself. It's hard to get Steve's accent correct. Like it's
he has his own Australian accent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The energy was there, James, and it wasn't too far off. It's better than a lot of people can do. Yeah.
Well, where can people find you guys on the internet?
Great question, Sam. Thank you for asking that. James, did you?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want your mouth to be spitting.
The interwebs will tell you how. Find us at Sorta Kind of Funny Pod. On Instagram, TikTok, we have a YouTube as well where we now link the full episodes, so you can find a little bit more fun on there rather than just audio, but still keep listening to the audio. Check us out, guys. We would absolutely love it, especially if you followed our Instagram page, because then you can submit your stories and be on the podcast anonymously. And then you can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. We are Sorta Kind of Funny.
Yeah, and like Lauren said, Sorta Kind of Funny pod for all the social medias. Please, Instagram's the best because we're not just begging for you to come follow us. We want you to respond to our stories. We love our listeners' submissions because then it makes it just that much better to be like, oh man, like if we know who you are or like we know you're one of our followers, it just makes it 10 times better.
And
we love it.
We're very interactive. We love responding to messages. Like we love the community. So come join our community, but stay with Sam's. Let's just merge our families a little bit and arrange marriage a little bit. Yes.
Yeah.
I just share in the love.
We'll all hold hands. Yeah.
I do love you guys have been one of the quickest response times from a reach out request.
Thank
I
you.
send them in batches, so it's often a copy and paste job, and sometimes I get like the names wrong, and it's like I don't know if you were addressing this to, like that's how I got a guest once, and I was like, okay, maybe I should just like spell people's names wrong, like just in general, and see what happens.
Oh shoot, yeah.
But like 90% of the people I message just don't get back to me, so it's always very exciting when someone responds to a message and story as well.
We're big supporters of other podcasts, other creators. We want people to support us, so we're like, hell yeah, we're going to share your stuff. We're going to tag the hell out of this because we want that done. It's the golden rule too, and we just love supporting people. It's very
how
cool.
Indie podcasting works.
Yeah. We love the people that come with it. Most of them. Some can be weird.
Yes, and we love them more.
They've always got better stories. They
do. Horrible life decisions always make for the funniest stories later. And it seems to be the people that make consistently bad decisions to be weirdos. But we do love their stories. You don't want to be too close
to them, but you want to get to know them a little bit.
You can follow our podcast. Don't follow us. That's creepy. But you can follow our podcast.
On the streets. No.
Yeah.
That's called stalking.
Yes.
That's a criminal offense, people.
Yeah. In both Australia
in most parts of the world.
And the United States. Yeah.
Right.
Actually,
worldwide.
Anyway, I won't talk about our criminal justice system. It's
Yeah, that's a fun one to really dive
Yeah.
into. Same here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway,
On that
has there
note-
been anything that you've been reading or listening to that you wanted to plug?
Ooh, James, great question.
Ooh,
What do
I
you
gotta think
think?
about that. That I want to plug. I'm on the spot. I love. Ooh, right now I'm listening to this podcast. It might actually be over now, but it's called Myth Understood. Very good. It's these two friends. They go through mythology, and one of them kind of talks about it, and then the other one, she reacts to it. And they're both comedians, so it's really funny. So that's a podcast I love for people to go listen to. Again, I don't know if they're still making it, but I love them. They make me laugh so much. And Stiff Socks podcast,
Always.
absolute favorite of all time. Love that podcast.
Yeah, we love Stiff Socks. I'm gonna plug to our friends in the community that is podcasting. Sam, if you want to reach out to them, they are pretty great. Men of Misfortune, we love them over there. They are awesome. And then Scream Queer, we love Ralph over there too. So they're great if you want to check them out. They're similar to our size as far as podcasting goes, but plug them. Our friends.
And last one, I'd say AJ Presents The Greater Good.
Oh,
absolutely.
We're like not stopping. AJ Presents.
He does a podcast where he will like make a decision on something like which pizza's better and just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very funny. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Check him out as well. And sort of kind of funny. That's the best.
Yeah. Do you know? I'm sorry. We won't stop. Sam, do you know?
No. I'm loving them.
Like, take notes because these are all amazing people. Cheers, Big Ears. They are Australian as well, and they are super fun. Shout out to them. Yeah.
Yeah. All Aussies know each other.
Always looking for Australian content.
But it's podcasting, James. I feel like anyway. Yeah.
I know. I'm just kidding.
They drink and then they just talk about whatever they want to talk about. So cheers, Big Ears. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm definitely gonna have to check that one. I'm always looking for more Australian content creators because it's a bit of a
I have
hard one to
another
get
one
around.
For you. Let me look this up real quick. Sorry, I know you can cut all this dead air, but they are an Australian one and they are very good at responding, very fun. Cheers, Big Ears, and then the Three Little Pigs podcast. They are like a true crime, but they're great at responding, very fun. We did some trailer swaps where, play our trailer and yours and vice versa. So they're an Aussie group. They're excellent people.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There are some part of me kind of only sees the corporate side of it all, and so being able to see a whole bunch of other smaller podcasts is amazing. It also makes my plug sound incredibly lame, but I will say it's an incredibly powerful tool that I've been using. I can't shut up about, I work as a journalist, which means I speak to a lot of people, and I hate transcribing. I hate transcribing with a burning passion. You sit down, you do an interview, and someone's made these really excellent points, and for 2 hours, you've got to sit there and type it out from a recording.
Yeah.
So there's this website called Otter AI. It's a really great thing, even just in general, if you wanted to keep records of conversations or bits and pieces, or if you're a podcaster that by chance happens to be listening to this, and you do transcripts, and you they do transcripts fairly well. It does cost money to use the premium version, but I just use their free version for the work I do, and it's really amazing. It's super powerful, and I just love it because it means that it also starts to separate out the conversation into different key points as well.
Right.
Wow.
Which is amazing because then I'm sitting there going, I don't need to even worry about where this person said that, because I can either search it in the conversation or it's separated it out for me, going, this is a key moment from the conversation.
That's very cool.
The power of AI used in a positive way.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Very cool.
But yeah, otter.ai is what it's called. It's lovely. I've been using it since uni. And I know that some of my lecturers use it too. Some of my lecturers that I had used it. I don't know. It's so hard to escape the uni life.
I love that uni. I've never heard that, but I love it. I love your sayings. Okay. When it's it's early days, I love that so much. Like on the reality
Early
show, like,
days? You've
it's
never
early
heard of
days.
that?
I had never heard it till reality TV show, and I'm like, these people. And then how they say, banter. Like I love I love all the different sayings. It's fun. Uni. I'm gonna start
It's
saying
great.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, short for university,
Right.
which I know that like I know there's a distinction between the two. But
College,
like, usually it's
right.
the equivalent of college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Right.
say,
They
well,
don't say
even-
that as much here.
Yeah, I was gonna say my
not as
brother
big.
and I say that, but also like a lot of my brother went to high school in Germany, and most of his friends were going to university, so they said that. And then I think I kind of picked it up. I think also just like because I was getting ready to go to college, and I lived when I was in Germany. I started saying
Yeah.
that too. So I say university. I don't say uni. I do love uni though. That kind of sounds better. Sounds like a
That
unicorn.
sounds- yeah, I was like, what is that? It's pretty badass. I like it. I love all the sayings.
It's pretty casual. It's like, oh, I've just got uni today, so I'll be leaving the house at 12.
They're like, wow, you got into university. That's
use-
amazing. And you're like,
Yeah.
brag on
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
We use college to like. College is in Australia the live-in dorms on the
Okay.
university campuses that are run by
Oh.
different organizations.
Okay.
So not everyone like lives in those dorms, but
Right.
like some people go, oh, I live in the
So,
I
like,
live
freshmen?
in the college,
Like a lot of times for, in America, it's freshmen typically do the dorm life. It's everyone.
No one's required to. So it's often
Okay.
it's lots of people from like regional parts of the country who like parents are fairly rich, and they're happy to pay because it's expensive too. Whereas
Yeah.
it's cheaper. It was always going to be cheaper for me to live and rent a place in the city than it was to live at college. And plus there was no college attached to my university. It was attached to the rival university. And I had friends who did the commute between the two.
Yeah.
But I always felt like it'd be a bit weird living on a different university campus.
Yeah, and they're just like throwing tomatoes at you when you're leaving campus because you have the wrong colors on every day. I get that. I get that.
I had a really good friend of mine who I think might be still living in college. I know she's just about to graduate, but she was basically doing a similar degree to I was, just longer.
Yeah.
And we'd met like in high school, and she lived like out rural, and like came in and was living in college. And like had an amazing time. There's plenty of hazing and shit that goes on though,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
but-
Yeah.
It's a little toxic. But
Just a
But
little,
what
just a
hasn't
little.
been toxic is this. So
Yeah, this has been
I know, we should
amazing.
probably wrap this
Sam.
up. We've been
No, I love.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for reaching out. We've had a blast. It's so good to know you. We are friends now. Every time we record an episode, we're like, so we're best friends. We really
Yeah.
enjoy meeting these people.
Exactly. Yeah. I really should just make this offer to everyone. Anyone who's a previous guest and who is listening or lurking still, like the offer is there. If you come to Australia, I'm more than happy to like meet you wherever you're at and like
We'd love
show
that.
you the sights and like
Oh,
around.
we need to
like,
do that.
I want to go to Australia so bad. It's one of the places I really want to visit. I want to surf there. I want to travel around. I want to go between there and New Zealand. Like that's just an area I
So
love
cool.
of the world. I've been
Right.
to Tonga and Fiji, and I really want to
Yeah.
make that a little bit further, and keep going, get to that area
Right.
of
It's
the
just an
world.
extra 4 hours, so
Yeah.
it's not
Let's
that
do
far.
it.
Yeah, once you've done the 13, it's like 4 hours. Just tack it on there
What's
at that point.
Yeah. We'll go and we'll hang out and we'll have fun.
Can we do shoeies if I come visit? Will you do a shoey with me?
I will do a shoey if
Okay.
you guys come visit.
Absolutely, we will do it and we'll record it and tag everyone. Just a live
Everyone.
stream. Shoeies.
A live stream, shoey. It's like every time an American artist rocks up, we like, and it's almost become like some people are like, this might be mildly problematic that we're trying to like force every artist that comes and visits us to do a shoey.
Yeah.
Like when Harry Styles
Okay.
recently did it, Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
One of my
I'm trying to think
in
of-
Formula One, Lando Norris. They made him. He was racing with what is his name? The Australian driver. I can't
Oscar
think of it.
Piastri
No,
or Daniel Ricciardo.
Ricardo. I loved it. Yeah, Ricardo.
Danny Rick, love him.
Danny Rick.
Yeah.
And so he was doing a shoey, and he made Lando Norris do one with him. And Lando's like, "Please don't make me do this." And then he did it. And it was great. I loved it.
The greatest part is that Daniel Ricciardo is from Perth, which is the opposite side of the country to where the majority of people live.
Yeah.
And so he's got that like extra mildly chaotic vibe. Like
Yeah.
you see the grin on his face, and you know he's up to no good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's.
And we're like,
crazy.
we approve. Great
Yeah,
representation.
honestly, as far as representation goes, he's a great Aussie. Like, he is an amazing representative. Like, we get some Americans out there in the world, and I'm like, maybe
Dial it
don't.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't take himself too seriously either, and I think that that's probably like way more representative of our culture than like, you know, anything else. Like even to an extent, Oscar Piastri, I really do need to double check. I don't think it's actually Oscar Piastri. I think he's different. And I know my housemate who's sitting on the other side of this room is Oscar Piastri, is like probably screaming at me. She's a massive Formula One fan. Yeah. But like even he's gone like a bit cheeky. He's like realized that Daniel Ricciardo's brand is like absolutely mint, and like people love him for it.
Yeah, people love
like,
him. I think he's probably one of the top. He's not racing right now, but he is one of the top like Americans love him as a driver, because Americans are like, we're crazy loud people, and he is like a crazy loud person, but he has like an accent, so we all are like drawn to him, you know what I mean? So Americans love the Aussie accent so much. We love
it is one of the
Australian
most
accents.
sexual accents for sure.
100%. I'm like, yeah, give me chlamydia.
I'm aroused. It's like, whoa, say it in my
I
mouth.
said 3 words. When I flew, I was in the States a couple months ago. And when I flew from Dallas to Richmond, I was sitting in the middle seat both ways. Like, it was just a fact.
Yeah.
I was just like, whatever. I'm sitting in the middle seat. The middle seat is especially worse in like when you are sitting in like a full plane as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I get the middle seat and it's like, oh, there's a seat spare beside me, so I'm just gonna kind of spread myself out a little bit.
Yeah.
But that, you know, but like at the same time, so I said 3 words to this lady to ask her to like move, so I could sit in the middle seat, and she immediately picked up on the accent, and we had a conversation for the whole flight over about like why I was going to Richmond and bits and pieces. When I told the customs officer I was heading to Richmond as well, he turned around and was like, why are you going there? I'm like, oh, I'm going to go see some friends. I'm like,
Rude.
okay.
How dare you?
I think the Richmond slander is out there. And like, as someone who's from a network that most of the creators are based in Richmond, Virginia, like, I think like I need to like stop this Richmond slander. It's a really lovely city.
The slander stops here.
The slander stops at Content and
Just
Capable.
because it's close to DC doesn't mean it's boring.
Yeah.
Sure, it's beautiful.
Oh, it's got the James River runs like basically through it. So it's like this weird, I found like the weird country town / city vibes that like intersect are kind of hilarious. You're sitting in the James River while you're like right next to the skyscrapers of the town.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. So like this is downtown. We're in downtown, people. And we're sitting in the river in our bathers. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. It's been so much fun.
Content and Capable was recorded, edited, and produced by Samuel O'Brien. You can follow the podcast at Content, the letter N, Capable on Instagram, and you can find it on Facebook. You can also send an email through to contentandcapablepod@gmail.com with any of your thoughts, queries, or concerns. The best way to support the podcast is to leave a review on your preferred podcatcher so more people can hear the podcast. The art was done by Opia, and the music was written, edited, and produced by Jason Hilton. Content and Capable is proud to be a part of the Deus Ex Media Network, where you can find a podcast for any of your nerdy interests.
We are
Not the crystal gems.
We are the Bits,
The bits, the bits, the bits.
a Steven Universe review podcast
Celebrating the 10th anniversary.
of a show that's very near and dear to our hearts,
So get ready to cry with us
and try our best not to sing.
as we rewatch one of the gayest shows of the 2010s,
New episodes coming out to you every Friday.
featuring your favorite host, Charlie.
And Robert.
Thank you for listening to Content and Capable. Don't forget to rate and review, and we'll see you next week for another episode.
Deus Ex Media.